Hello, everybody. Welcome to the old you versus new you and From Darkness to Light radio podcast. I'm your host, Goddess Asha Mary. I'm going to thank you guys for joining me for this episode. If you guys like the commentary on YouTube and my other platforms, please hit the like, subscribe, notification button to receive notifications on my videos. If you're on Spreaker.com, you can go to that website and you can check my podcast out on that platform, or you can go to my name, ASHAMARIAMA, and you'll see all of my platform and all my podcasts that I do. A little bit about me: I'm a certified recovery, healing, and recovery coach. It's all about helping people in their paths and their journeys and their purpose to a new and better you through self discovery. I like to help people in all aspects: mentally, psychologically, emotionally, spiritually, as far as internally and externally, financial and your romantic, family, and friends and other relationships as well. So the purpose of these podcasts is each one of them deals with recovery and healing and addiction in a different way. And I'm also an addiction coach as well. So if anybody wants to be a guest on my podcast, wants to sponsor my podcast, or wants to send me letters just telling me how these podcasts have inspired you and how they've helped you in your journey of your healing, recovery, and addictions, please by all means email me at asha.mariama01@gmail.com. That's asha.mariama01@gmail.com, and you can reach me there. Today's topic is, how do you let go of the version of you that everybody else sees you as? So, how do you let go of other people's version of you? That's a hard thing to do, honestly, especially when it comes to your family and your friends or people you used to date, people that you used to know, and you're not the person that they knew you as when you were in high school, when you were a kid, when you were a teenager, or even an early adult or in your early 30s. So when people try to expose you on social media or off of social media, they only know the version of you that they remember. Because what people don't understand is these people are no longer in this person's life. So the fact that y'all go back and look at somebody's life 20 years ago, it has nothing to do with the person that they are now. I mean, even if they committed a crime, that doesn't mean that those people are still the same person they were 20, 30 years ago. Just because somebody was 250 pounds does not mean that they're the person that they were 20, 30 years ago, because they're not that same person that they were 20, 30 years ago. They're just not. People change, people grow, people evolve, people elevate. And the fact that y'all keep throwing in somebody's face what they did a long time ago is why a lot of people can't be the new version of themselves, because people are constantly throwing in your face something that happened a long time ago that has nothing to do with the person that you are now. It's just like when it comes to somebody being in darkness or somebody that committed a crime and people are still throwing in their face what they did. Now, I'm not saying that people shouldn't pay for what they've done as far as negativity. Yeah, they should pay for it. But at the same time, if that person repents for their wrongs and they're showing that they are trying to change, you should be able to give them the benefit of the doubt when it comes to that change. But some people just do not want to do that. These people get out of prison and can't even get a job, can't even go back to school because their past is being thrown in their faces. It's just like when it comes to racism, when it comes to black people and how we had all the police brutalities and all of the things that happened throughout history. It's like people don't want to grow, they don't want to evolve, they don't want people to be the best version of themselves. It's just like a woman or a man that's happily married, you and now you got somebody trying to steal your husband or your wife. If you got money, everybody else expects to be the person that gets the benefit from the money you made, regardless of whether you made it via success or whether you made it via the lottery, maybe you got it through a lawsuit, it doesn't matter, car accident, it don't matter. The point is, these people feel that they have the right to whatever it is that you get, and they didn't do nothing to even deserve it. So I get the fact that you want to be there for your parents and you want to be there for your family. But the problem is, would it be reciprocated? Is the question. So when you have people that are trying to ruin somebody's life for whatever reason, sometimes it's just because they think that person is less than. It's just like a bully that bullied somebody for years, and then that person comes back looking completely different. That person is still going to call you the name that they knew you as when they bullied you. So they're still going to say all of these negative things, even though you're not that person. You've never been that person. It's just like that you go to that family reunion or that class reunion, 10-year class reunion. You go back and you're now very successful. But even though you're successful, those people are not going to look at the fact that you're successful. They're going to look at the fact of what they remembered you from and try to use it to embarrass you. So if you were a nerd and you come back and now you're a multimillionaire and now you got a beautiful wife and beautiful kids and you look different, they still gonna look at you as that same nerd that you were when you were in junior high and high school, because that's what they remember you as. They still think of you as that weak person. It's just like your parents when they don't know anything about your life. They only know the things they choose to remember. So, for example, if you have a parent that, again, like yesterday we talked about, they were golden childs, and the other one was someone they didn't even care about what they had going on. They'll pay one's way through school, but not the other. They'll do everything for one, but not the other one. Well, when they do stuff like this, what tends to happen is they remember you when you were a certain age before they started ignoring you. Now that you're like older, your interests have changed. You have changed. You are not the same person that you were before all of this happened. So now that you're different, they don't understand that. Like they wanted you to go a different direction than what you chose to go, but they're not trying to understand this new version of you or whatever it is that you're trying to do. They're not trying to, in any capacity, trying to get to know what it is that you're doing. And that, unfortunately, is the sad part. So, because of this, your parents only remember what they choose to remember about you. It's just like you got parents out here that will always put a child on a pedestal, and the other one is just, they mean nothing. And the sad part about it is, they don't really mean anything to them. It's like you have parents that just use their children for money and they don't really care about them at all. And there are other mothers that do care about their children. So again, people only remember you when they were around you. They don't remember who you were 30 years later. It's just like when it comes to people that lose their jobs and they're trying to get a reference, and you're like, well, I don't have any of their phone numbers to call. You'll have to call, you'll have to call HR. So I just give the numbers to HR and that's pretty much it. So what I will say is we all got our, things that we have to deal with. But like I said, that's why when people try to expose you, I don't know how they can expose you when basically essentially the people they're trying to reach you haven't talked to in years. And they always ask, well, how were you 20 years ago? This person was this way, that way, so on and so forth. But they may find something that happened a few years ago, but it might be over with. Because the person that's involved, they may have conversation and they may have forgiven. So I tell people all the time, it's sad how people always want to throw in somebody's face mistakes they've made in their past and throw it back in their face, using people's flaws, imperfections, and disabilities and the mistakes they made in their past in their face for whatever reason. So it's kind of hard to become this new version of yourself when everybody around you is so stuck on the person that you were. They're not looking and seeing the person that you are now. They're not trying to get to know what makes you happy, what brings you joy. None of that. They don't care. All they care about is, I'm about to get what I want from you, and ain't nothing you can do about it. So at the end of the day, like I said, this happens more so than not. And you have a lot of people that are dealing with the mistakes their parents made, or they look just like one of their parents, and their parents, every time they look at them, they see that parent that they don't like. These things happen all the time. The question is, how do you overcome it? Honestly, you can't. Honestly, if these people already got they whatever they think about you, whatever they got to say about you, whatever it is they feel about you, let it go. Just let it go. Ain't nothing you can do. You can't make people see you the way you want them to see you. Just like you can't make somebody love you, they just don't. So at the end of the day, if somebody tries to expose you or try to bring up the past, just say, you know what? Go ahead. Go ahead. But who I was then is not who I am now. Who I was then has nothing to do with the woman that I am now. But that person before made me better because I'm better. So, like I said, these journeys are not easy, they're hard. And like I said, when you got somebody always throwing in your face what you did 20, 30 years ago, it's really hard to be that it's really hard for that new version of yourself to take center stage. Especially if these people ain't trying to know you and they're not trying to see the new version of you. No. All they want to see is something they can hold over your head to make you have to give in to whatever it is they want. Pretty much. So so all I can say to y'all is you got to be the best version of yourself. You can't let negative people break you. Negative people gonna always have something to say about you no matter what. You can sit here all day long and prove that people are lying. You're wasting your time doing that because only thing that's gonna happen is that person is gonna keep on believing whatever it is that they want to believe. If they think that you're a terrible person, they want the whole world to hate you. And that's pretty much what it's about. They want everybody to hate you. They want nobody to think that you're a good person. I mean, that is what they did to Jesus, right? They did do that to him. They sat there and they wanted everybody to hate Jesus, and everybody who hated Jesus suffered greatly because they wanted Jesus to basically prove that he was the Son of God. But even if he would have, they still would have done what they did to him. So it wouldn't have mattered. So with negative people, they want to hurt you. They're going to hurt you no matter what. And you have to pray to God you don't end up in their crosshairs, that you don't end up being the person that they're trying to come after. So if you can try to avoid these people, then please do your best. But I know it's not always easy because it ain't. Because negative people, one thing about them, they will find somebody who they feel is weaker, who they feel is less than, who they feel don't fit society standards, and throw it in your face that you don't. And again, it's not easy. Like I said, somebody that just constantly keep bringing up what happened 20 years ago, throw it in your face. Or another example of that, you're in your 40s now, and now your husband talking about you don't look the same as you did 20 years ago. I'm divorcing you because you're not the same woman as you were. All because you don't look the same. Now mind you, your personality and everything else is the same. You just don't look the same. But yet still, he's still saying, I want a divorce because you don't look the same as you did 20 years ago. I mean, who does? I mean, there's a lot of people that do not look the same 20 years ago. There are a lot of people that change, they evolve, they elevate. That's just how that works. But that ain't the way he's looking at it. He's looking at it as you're not young no more. But you've been with this woman for 20 years. And yet you have a problem with the fact that she's now getting older. Forgive my confusion. Because, like I said, the fact that somebody can even say, oh, well, you're not good enough, you're not this, and you're not that. So, you went through all of this stuff to overcome all of these negative things that were said, and now you're going back home to the same people that basically essentially said these things, and now you got to be able to deal with everything that they say. Now that's going to be hard. I'm not going to lie to you. The fact that you have to go back and confront your family, the fact that you got to sit up here and say to them, look, the person who you said that I was, I will never be. And you got to basically stand on it. That's the hard part. How do you stand on something when you got so many people tearing you down? Every chance they get, they just tearing you down. Every possible chance they get, they making you feel less than what you are. Telling you that you're not good enough, telling you that you're not worthy, telling you you're not deserving, telling you that you don't belong, telling you that you ain't never gonna amount to nothing. And then when you do, they still think the same way. Even though you have accolades, even though you're successful, even though you're doing all these things, they don't care. Because in their eyes, you are still the same person. In their eyes, you're not their golden child. In their eyes, you are just a person that they will never respect. They will never, ever, ever respect you, even though you want them to respect you, even though you want them to care about you, even though you want them to love you. It don't matter. They just never will. You can sit up there and give somebody everything, and they will still say and think less of you. You can sit up here and do everything that you're supposed to do for your spouse. That don't mean he's not gonna leave you or she's not gonna leave you for another man or another woman. So these things happen. So you can sit here all day long and try to come back 20 years later, back home, and you may be the very successful. But they don't care about that. All they care about is the money. They don't care about what you went through to become successful. All they know is now you have some money. Now you can take care of us. Now you can pay our bills. But when I was out there in the streets and you kicked me out and I had nowhere to go, where were you? Where were you when everything was good with you when I was sitting there struggling? Where were you? Nowhere to be found. But now that you're struggling, you're expecting me to take care of you. You're expecting me to do all these things for you. But you didn't do it for me. You didn't help me out in any way, shape, or fashion. But now you want me to give you money that I know for a fact you ain't never gonna pay back. Because most of these people that borrow money ain't never gonna pay it back. And they ain't. They ain't never gonna pay it back. That's one thing they're not gonna do. Is pay it back. They're gonna sit right there and keep that money. That's what they're gonna do. They're gonna keep it. And the sad part is that's exactly what they're gonna do. Is basically, you know, they just not gonna do right. So I get it. I even understand it. But in the end, like I said, we all have our battles. We all have things that we have to do. But you can't change people's perspective of you if that's what they already think. Even if you try, it doesn't mean that they're gonna really accept you. And if somebody don't accept you and they sit up front, then leave them where they at. Those are not people you need to deal with. Those are not people you need to mess with. Those are people you just need to leave alone. Period. At the end of the day, because if these people really care about you, they would do right by you, and you wouldn't have to go through all these hoops and bounds to make it happen. So, like I said, nothing surprises me when it comes to people at this point. Nothing. Because, like I said, you can be the best person in the world, and your family will still tell you you ain't good enough. You can make good grades, and you still won't be treated the way you want to be treated. You can sit there and pay their bills and do everything you're supposed to, even as an adult, and they still will never respect you. They still will forget your birthday. They still don't want you coming to Thanksgiving and Christmas. They still don't want you around. Don't even invite you. So at the end of the day, no matter what you do, if that person didn't respect you then, they more than likely are not going to respect you now. They just ain't. And they're not going to respect you because most of the time they never wanted that child in the first place. And that's just a true statement. Hold on a second. That's just a true statement. So I get the fact that for a lot of you, y'all have been through this where all you wanted was your mother's love. All you wanted was your parents' love. All you wanted was your friends to care about you. And unfortunately, they just didn't. They was around you because you served a purpose, not because they genuinely liked you. You served a purpose. And when you can't, that's when they'll leave you alone. You find out when people how people really feel about you when you don't have nothing. Or you don't want to give it to them. That's when you'll see the true version. They'll call you everything from selfish to you being wrong. How can you just not take care of family? Family is family. Are you serious right now? So family helps family. But when have y'all helped me? When have y'all done anything for me? You haven't. When have you been there for me when I was down and out? You haven't. But yet you want me to give up everything that I've worked for to take care of you. But you won't take care of me. You asking me to pay your bills, but yet your golden child, you always make excuses why she don't help you out, why he don't help you out. But that's the main one that's gonna have you in that godforsaken group home. That's the main one that's gonna be waiting for you to die. And they're gonna be trying to get all your money. That's the crazy part about they the main ones that the one you never cared about stops providing for y'all and saying no, I'm no longer doing it. I'm no longer taking care of y'all. When he or she finally gets done and finally just moves on and finally gets to enjoy the fruits of their labor, now all of a sudden you go into the other child asking them and they ain't trying to do nothing. But then again, you can't ask them because they ain't doing nothing. They can't even help themselves because you've been too busy enabling them. Oh, okay. But y'all be saying a lot of us don't know when we speak or when we say these things. It's the truth. And like I said, it's always the one that wants to belong is always the one that wants to help. Because they think one day that person gonna notice. Or, you think one day things are gonna change and they don't change. It ain't never gonna change. They calling you talking about, well, you don't have to come home for Christmas this year. Because if you come home for Christmas this year, there's not gonna be enough room. How you gonna tell me I can't come home for Christmas when I can stay in a hotel? You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, sometimes family's not always blood, and it ain't. Sometimes family could be somebody that you met over the years that treats you better. Somebody's family who treats you better than your own family, though. You know what I'm saying? So, no. So again, the only way that you can basically stop becoming what everybody wants you to be and start being what you want to be is if you decide to do so. If you say to yourself, you know what, this ain't about everybody else. This is about me and what it is that I want. What it is I'm choosing to do. My happiness beginning and ending with me. And that's just it on that. Once you do that, life will be a whole lot happier and a whole lot easier for you. But that's because that's what you got to do. You know? These changes you got to make. Nobody else can make these changes except you. So if these people can't see the new version of you and respect you for it, then leave them where they at and move on. Leave them exactly where they at and just move on with your life. Because there are people out here that will accept the new version of you. And they won't even care about the old version of you. They will like you no matter what. They will care about you no matter what. So you don't have to fit in with these people. You don't have to be a part of their groups. You ain't got to be none of that. When you go to your family reunion, just have a great time. When you go to your 10-year reunion, just have a great time and call it a day. That's all you got to do. You ain't got to do nothing else. Just go and enjoy yourself and call it a day. That's it. Because at the end of the day, it ain't about everybody else. It's about you. So stop trying to worry about what everybody else got going on. Focus on yourself. If you ain't achieved all the stuff you need to achieve, then you need to stop worrying about everybody else and worry about these celebrities and worry about yourself. That's who you should be worrying about. That's what you should be concerned with. So again, the old you got to let go of the things that do not serve you. And that includes the past and everything associated with it. Let it go. Because the past can't be changed. It can't be maneuvered. It's already happened. So there's nothing really you can do about the past. But you can work on the present and the future to make both of those better, but you can't make the past better. The past just is what it is. It's time for people to move on from the past and let go and move forward and say, you know what? These things happen, but it's time for me to move forward. It's time for me to basically essentially be happy and do what's best for me. It ain't about everybody else. It's about me. And for once in my life, I'm going to enjoy saving money. Once in my life, I'm not going to sit up here and worry about everybody else. I'm just going to worry about me. And that's it. That's all you can do. All you can do is be the best version for the people that truly will accept the change. The ones that don't, oh well. That has nothing to do with anybody else but them. So again, you just enjoy your vacation, enjoy your time, enjoy the people that you with, and that's it. The ones that don't get it, they won't. They're not on your level. And besides that, so many people ain't on your level anyway. And it ain't worth trying to get back at people who did what they did. It's just time to move forward. That's it. Just move forward. Let whatever this be. And whatever it is that happened, let it be that. So I'm good. So with that being said, I don't want to be on here for too long. But when it comes to recovery and healing, the one thing you're going to have to do before you even start your journey is let go of what other people got to say about you. Let go of what these people think about you. Let go of the fact that your mother is never going to accept you. Your father's never going to want you in their life. Just accept it and let it be that. Become the new version of yourself for you. Lose weight because that's what you want to do. Don't lose weight because you're trying to get a man or trying to impress somebody that never wanted you in the first place. Because even if you do, he's still not going to want you. If he does, it's going to be for the wrong reasons. So just stop. At the end of the day, just enjoy life, live life, be happy. That's it. That's it. That's all. All you gotta do is just be happy. But is it easy going through these journeys? No. I don't wish this on my worst enemy. So at the end of the day, yes, when you get back, you're gonna have a lot of people saying a lot of things. And they're gonna be looking at their new car, they're gonna be looking at all kind of stuff. Some of them gonna be thinking about trying to rob you. So at the end of the day, you don't know how things are gonna play out while you're going through this nonsense. So anyway, my nose is stuffy. But anyway, I ain't gonna stay on here for too long, but I just want to come on here and just say that you gotta let go of other people's version of you. What other people think and what they say about you. You gotta be able to say, you know what? I rebuke that and send it back from what you came because don't belong here. Just because you may think I'm a certain way doesn't mean that's what I am. And I'm not gonna let you define me based on your words. So just rebuke it and send it back from what you came. Because it doesn't belong with you. So I ain't gonna stay on here for too long, but I just want to say thank y'all for joining me for this episode. And I appreciate y'all. And I love y'all. No, this is not perfect because I wasn't. I was gonna do it originally tomorrow, but I decided to do it this evening. So here we are. So that being said, I thank y'all for joining me for this episode. There will be a part two to this episode next week, and I'll be breaking this down even further. So with that being said, bye y'all.